good, y'all? I would like to welcome you back to Curiously Kira, the podcast. It's your girl, Kira. We live and direct. Well, we not live, but you get what I'm saying. Anyway, I would like to welcome you back. All of my loyal listeners, all of my new listeners, I hope that whether you've been listening from the start or just jumping in, that you receive what it is to receive from this episode today. So, peep this, y'all, because we jumping right in. I recorded a whole episode yesterday, just talking about a whole bunch of stuff. And on my way to work this morning, I was listening to a song by Black. I always want to call him Six Leg, but his name is Black. And it just resonated with me so much. Like, I love music. Music, I feel like, is powerful, is meaningful, and stuff like that. That's why I'm very careful as far as what I listen to. Not into a lot of the rah stuff. Like, it's certain artists that I really fuck with heavy. And Black is one of them. So he has this song called Talk. And in this song, he talks about, hold up real quick, because it get deep. It get deep, all right? When I heard the lyrics to it, because a beat is a beat. Beats could go hard all day. If you ain't sliding on that beat and if you ain't saying something that's meaningful, let me get my words together. If you ain't saying nothing that's meaningful, like, the song could be whack. But in this song, he says, hold up. He said, I had to talk to somebody on the outside just to tell him how a nigga feel inside. I had to talk to somebody on the outside, getting rid of my pride. I had to get out my own way. Say that. Finally got my place back. I be feeling too much. I need a shrink. Slow me up. Do I need a drink? Or I need to think? I got the lyrics a little jumbled up. But the whole point is, he said, I had to talk to somebody on the outside. And that is my whole topic today. Getting the help that we need, putting this whole facade that therapy is not for Black people, and sitting in self-pity and torturing yourself because you're not reaching out to the resources where you can receive help. And I don't know about other communities, but I know that it is a major thing in the Black communities. You know, we go through things in our childhood, we go through things in our adulthood, and we find things and vices to mask those things that we deal with on a daily because nobody really taught us how to deal with those things in a magnitude where it's healing, where you learn from those things and those things don't drag you down. I know I spoke about this on my last season when I spoke about my dad and how he dealt with addiction and stuff like that. And I really don't know what he went through in his childhood or, you know, his young adult life or whatever to make him turn to drugs. But I know that there's a story out there for a lot of people who have dependency on substance. And it's so hard to see people that you love suffer and go through things like that. Like, I feel like, I mean, everything is going to happen how it's supposed to happen, but I really wish that my dad was able to reach out to someone, talk to someone, and get that help, you know, without the stigma put on it that, oh, you know, why would I tell my issues to a stranger? A stranger can't help me. Okay, why would you tell your ailments to a doctor? Because they're trained to help you with the physical. Just like therapists are trained to help you with the mental. Oh shit! Did my no, it didn't just die on me. Hold up.
Pairing. Bluetooth connected.
Hold up. That would just die on me like that. All right, getting back to what I was saying, like, just like doctors are trained to help with the physical, therapists are trained to help with the mental. I think that a lot of people stay stuck on, um, like I was saying, why would I tell my issues to somebody that I don't know? How can they help me? If you get it out your mind that a therapist is there to solve your problems, people could take therapy very seriously. Therapists are not there to help you solve your issues. They're not God. They are trained to give you tools, though, to help you navigate through those things that you are going through. But people, they take the easy way out. They don't want to actually do the work that's required to fix what it is that's going on in their mental. So they turn to um, whatever it is, heroin, marijuana, and I'm not against marijuana, but I'm just saying if you are addicted to it and you actually need that thing every day to help you function, then it's a problem. People turn to pills, people turn to alcohol, and they abuse it. Like I said, I'm not against smoking marijuana, but if you are using it excessively and you just can't, you run out and you can't function, you going crazy, you need help. If you drink it to the point where it's not just socially, or I'll just have a drink on the weekend or whatever like that, where you are dependent on it every day, you need help. You know, some people drug of choice is pills. Everything in excess can be bad for you. Popping those pills, one day your liver, your kidney gonna give out. Drinking, one day your kidney, your liver gonna give out. You know, smoking, your lungs could give out. And is it worth it? Is it worth damaging yourself than to actually take the time to work and deal with those things that you deal with internally? I've shared my experience with therapy or whatever, and since I've been out here, I've talked to two different therapists. One I talked to when I first moved out here, and I was just going through things in my relationship where I'm like, my family is not around, and I really need somebody to talk to because I'm a mother. You know, I want to be there 100% for my daughter, but I need to be there 100% for myself as well. And I feel like I'm losing myself in the process. So, talking to her really put a lot of things into perspective to keep me first. You know, I found, and I think I've said this before, you know, I found a lot of times in my past, I always focused on what I could be to somebody else versus what I could be to myself. You know, and we lose ourselves that way, like trying to prove to others that we are worthy of them. When we really need to put that energy in ourselves to let ourselves know we are worthy of ourselves. So I feel like if you love yourself and you love the people that are around you that are supportive and stuff like that, especially when you got a strong team that's behind you, especially when you have a strong family that is very supportive, especially if you have good insurance. Like, what is the reason why you not reaching out to get help and you using other things to mask what is really going on, and really you just killing yourself? You killing yourself, you torturing yourself. And that's why so many people have mental breaks. And you could just be like, oh my goodness, he was so nice. Or she was so nice. Why did they go and do that? Or why did they do this? And it's just because people are not dealing with those issues that they supposed to be dealing with. Yeah, and it's time out for that. It's time out for copping out. It is. Because if you really love your life, I mean, if you don't care about yourself and you just don't care about what your outcome is, or the people that are like, you just feel like, I just don't care, then I don't know. I don't know what type of advice I could offer once you feel like you've reached that point, like where you just like, I don't know. I don't know because I don't know if I've been there. I don't know if I've been there. Like, to where I felt like this is the lowest of the lows and I'm not going to be able to get up from here. Because I feel like my child, she helped me with a lot of that. Like, it helped me to not be selfish because I have somebody else that's dependent on me, you know? And I say that because this ties into um me finding out over this past weekend that somebody that I used to work with, she took her life. And I was just like, oh my goodness, like, she had did a crime, she did her time, she came home, she was doing good from what I could, from what I saw, and that's the thing, we don't know everything. People only put on social media what they want you to see. That's why it is very important for you to check on your friends, check on your family, the people that you love, check on them, make sure they are right, and be open. If you're that person that's going through something, if somebody asks you how you been, be open enough to say, I ain't been good. Sis, pray for me. Bro, pray for me. I'm struggling. Do you have any resources? Like, do you know somebody I could talk to? Because I'm feeling like I can't make it. But then that all ties down to foundation too. If you planting your feet on sinking ground, you never gonna be stable. You never gonna be stable in your ways. That's why I don't understand how people live day to day with no type of faith base. I'm not the most religious person or anything like that, but I do believe in God. I know where my help comes from. I know that all the things that have happened for me in my life was not my own doing. Not all of it. I've always had that force that was helping me, that was leading me, that was guiding me. And whether you believe God is real or not, having a belief in something is what keeps you hopeful. You know? People, how do you know? How do you know? It's always a question. It's always going to be a question. When it comes to religion, when it comes to faith, when it comes to life, period, there's always going to be a question. But I choose to have faith in God because I'm like, it gotta be. Because my mind would be gone. With the way that things are going on in this world, I feel like my mind would be gone. And I can happily say that I've been sober for almost a year. January will make a full year. Um, and I've never really been a drinker. Like, drinking is not my thing. Hard liquor, I get sick. That's not my vice or whatever. I'll have me a glass of wine here and there. If I'm just getting off of work, I feel like I need to wind down, or it's the weekend or something like that. Yes, I'll have a glass of wine. But when it came to weed, let me tell you, like, it was after work. I had to have it. I had to have it. I didn't want to eat until I smoked, you know, and all it made me do was sleep. It calmed my body enough to sleep, to not have to think about the things that was going on in my life. And I'm like, What if I don't have access to this anymore and I'm forced to deal with the things that I need to deal with without substance? So I said, okay, challenge yourself. You have to find other ways to manage the things that are going on in your life besides substance. And I tried it. I'm like, am I really addicted to this? Because like I was smoking like every day. Like every day. Am I really addicted to this? And I just stopped. And I would say for the first couple weeks I wanted it. But after that, I was just like, I don't need it. I felt more energetic. I felt more motivated to do things that I wanted to do. I felt more motivated to spend more time with my daughter because before I just be like, look, I'm about to take a nap. And you would ask her, what's my favorite thing to do? Take a nap. So it helped me in so many different ways. And I'm glad that I was able to push back. Will it be a forever thing? I don't know. But I know that what effects it had on me. The effects that it had on me, it may not be for the next person. So whatever floats your boat, smoke till you choke, whatever, that's your thing. But my point is, if you are solely dependent on this thing to help you navigate through life, you got to find another way. You got to find another way. And it just hurts me so bad that my friend took her life. Like, because a life is so valuable. Once it's gone, you can't get that thing back. So that's why I feel like it's nothing that goes on in the world that is that detrimental that you just got to end it all. But if you have the resources, because a lot of people don't have the resources to get a therapist, therapy is very costly. It's very, very costly. My first therapist, thank God it was cheap. I think it was like $60 per session or something like that. BetterHelp, I think it's like 200 something dollars for like 4 sessions, but you got to make sure that you do it every week. You miss a week, that's it. Like you don't get to make up. It has to be consecutive. So that's the only thing about BetterHelp. And I'm sure it's like other therapists and stuff, but it is very costly. So that's why it's important for community to join together and really help people get through tough times, because you never know, you might need somebody to help you get through a tough time. And sometimes, most times, people just need somebody to talk to without having to worry about, is my business going to be out in the streets, or am I going to be getting side-eyed because I'm going through something. You know, the world has changed so much, and trust is so very limited. It's hurting people in the worst way. So what I would say, because I mean, I'm really glad that he made that song, because I feel like it's being talked about more, but not enough. Not enough for people to set aside what they personally feel about talking to other people about their problems and really get the help. Because working on self is a process, especially if you are stubborn and stuck in your ways. You have to look at the bigger picture. You got to look at the bigger picture, like, this is going to help me elevate to a better me. Who don't want to be a better them? Like, if you already think that you dope and you raw and you that girl or you that nigga, why wouldn't you want to elevate yourself to the next level? I don't know about y'all, but I'm all about elevation. I'm all about the elevation. I need that. I don't want to be stagnant. I don't want to be stuck on some past shit. That it ain't nothing you could do about that to change how things happen in your past. You got to be able, willing, and strong enough to say, I'm done dwelling on that. and it's time to move forward. So I challenge you today to take the time to start that journey on working on you. You just don't know how much better you'll feel in your mind and your spirit. Like you'll be feeling like a burden has been lifted once you actually start to do the work. And I'm no Ayanla. I don't have my shit figured all the way out, but I was willing to take steps to get there. Whether it's starting a journal, whether it's starting to read a Bible, whether it's starting to pray more, whether it's starting to talk to somebody, whether it's getting your feelings out, being more vocal, not holding everything in, you gotta do what you gotta do. Because if you love you and you care about the people that are around you that love you, you gotta work on you so that you can be a better person, not only for yourself, but for them too. So I just want to thank you guys for joining me on this episode of Get Help. This episode of I Need Help. Of this episode that I'm ready for change. Cause it ain't always about what's going on social media. Because once the laptop is closed, once the phone is turned off, you gotta deal with real life. You gotta deal with real life. So thank you guys for joining me on this episode. I hope you come back for another one. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Curious to Cure the Podcast. Also, subscribe to my vlog, which is Capturing Kira. I miss you guys. I love you guys. I appreciate you. I adore you. Thank you for supporting me. Stay true to yourself and stay safe out there. All right, until next time, y'all. Do you. Do you.